here's something interesting that I wasn't really planning on doing, but I'm happy I did. This is seatbelt out of the passenger side of my truck. And it has been probably a year that this thing has been not working properly, that my poor wife has been riding around without a seatbelt on. And that's not good. That's shame on me as a man to make her do that. But I couldn't figure out why. It just randomly one day she couldn't pull it out. It was locked, you know, like it was latched in. It wouldn't pull out. And it wouldn't really ratchet back in either. It was just kind of stuck where it was. So I looked around. I was like, well, okay, I can get online and I can buy a replacement seatbelt for $100 or whatever. But I was like, man, the way it just one day just quit working, it doesn't make sense. I finally got around to taking it out. It's 2 big bolts is all it is. It holds it in. You got to take off your trim. But look at what I found. This is the butt end of a cheapy little flashlight that my kids dropped down into this fun little hole, because there's a little hole in the trim in my truck. I know exactly how this happened. Little varmints. You see that little hole there behind your door trim? They just bloop. That was fun. And then the seatbelt doesn't work. So got it pulled out, got to fishing around in there and looking, and found it. And now I'll show you if I can, hopefully. So now, you know, if you jerk quick, right? If you jerk quick, it catches. That's what you want. And then it wants to auto recoil. So as long as you, which, okay, let me see here if I, playing in my truck. So now it's recoiled all the way in. You got to get it to slack off a little bit. I had it working. Doggone, now y'all are gonna test me. There we go. So now it's easy out. You jerk quick, it locks. And then it goes back in. And you can easy out, locks. Goes back in, locks. And then you should be able to pull it all the way out till it catches. And then you get the ratchet mechanism where it won't pull back out. And that's if you're putting in like car seats. You got to pull it all the way out till it latches and then ratchet back in. And it will ratchet all the way until it gets enough material in there to reset that ratchet. Once it gets deep enough, then you can free pull it back out and it locks like it's supposed to. So it appears to be working now. I want to get it reinstalled and we'll test it out with it in the truck. Okay, so since I didn't show you on the uninstall, I'll show you on the install. There's a big bolt right here on the bottom that holds it into the wall of your truck. That's all that's in the frame. And then you've got to snake this stuff around a little bit. You got this big piece of flimsy plastic. So you got to feed your seatbelt back out through that hole, obviously. Get your trim back in there so it looks pretty. That's all, just trim. Yeah, whatever, I'll fix it in a minute. And then you got to go up through, this is your top link here. So your seatbelt comes up the wall of the truck and then has to bolt into the, well, shoot. Now, yeah, okay, it comes up through the wall of the truck. Yeah, this mechanism has to go back in to bolt in. Let me get it installed. It'll make more sense once it's in, but I want to show you all at least where the bolts and parts are for you to take it apart. Let me get it together and then I'll show you how it looks. All right, I had to put the phone down because I don't have anywhere good for the tripod and I wanted to figure it all out. So basically, I showed you the one bolt that was down inside of here that actually holds the ratcheting mechanism in. There's just that one bolt there. Your seatbelt comes up the side of your trim and it goes through this top link. And actually this is also meant to be able to slide up and down for, you know, your own comfort, whatever. Can y'all see that? There's the glare too bad. Let me go around the back. Like I'm looking right into the sun. I know I was. Okay. So yeah, this is supposed to slide up and down. There's a little tab right there that on this one's broke off, but it's at a good enough height it works for my wife. So there's a bolt right here. There's a nut right there that holds your top link in. And then it comes back down and bolts into your floor on the bottom end. So now you see how your strap comes out and you get your lap belt and your shoulder belt. So that's in. Everything's ratcheted down. Now I just have to snap all the trim back in. All the trim is just quick snap. it'll snap back in, clean right up. You'll never know I was in there. All right, well, there it is all finished up, trim back in. That trim can kind of be a booger to get it all to snap into place, but it really truly does just snap. And then you want to make sure you can get your weather seal here behind it just so it looks clean. But it's all in. Seatbelt's ratcheting like it's supposed to. I pulled it all the way out to try to make it catch, which it did. It catched and ratcheted in. I can't do it now one-handed. But I'm trying to, like, you know, jerk on it fast, and it's not wanting to lock. But I don't know if I'll go around to my driver's side and try it. I feel like I've tried that before, like sitting still. It's almost like there's I don't really know entirely how seatbelts work, but there is some inertial component to it, right? That it will, yeah, see, mine's not doing it either. But when you slam on the brakes, somehow that normally does fix it, or normally does make it engage. So I'm gonna call it fixed, and I guess I'll just have to go out for a drive and see if I can't put my wife through the windshield and see if it works or not. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. It's totally a joke. I would never do that. But yeah, a year worth of no working seatbelt, courtesy of this little dude, courtesy of my kids.